Caller, you're live on the air. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Oh, hi, Rabbi. I heard um y- you talk about the snake in the Garden of Eden when the snake tempted Eve to eat from the forbidden fruit. That the snake was really clever and it wanted to be with Adam because Adam rejected all the animals. So my question is, where was the snake's partner in all of this, and how come it didn't want to be with its partner if God created a partner for all living things? That's my
Okay.
question.
Okay, go ahead and hang up now for your answer. Okay, thanks.
Mm.
Okay, Rabbi, you're definitely going to need to please restate that. I'm sure you're probably more aware of some context that's going on than I am as well, probably many of the viewers. So if you would restate and establish his question so that we can all follow you around.
Right. So the caller is referring to a show that I broadcasted. I really don't know how long ago, where we were examining the events of Genesis chapter 2 and 3, and I was examining of what was the serpent's intent, and it's not spelled clearly in the text of why was the serpent doing this. Now the serpent certainly represents the evil inclination, Satan in some way, that wants more, that craves more, that wanted more. What we can figure out what the serpent is in a sense, because we have a description of the serpent, of whatever this creature was, in that it could walk, it could talk, and it's extremely intelligent. Okay, so let's think about that. They actually just found fossils in South America of snakes that had feet, unless that sounds really weird, but let's just stay focused here. A creature that can walk, talk, and is highly intelligent. Hmm. It really sounds very. Those are the qualities that are uniquely human. Now, God would curse the serpent later on, and it would lose its feet, and it would crawl on its belly, and the dust of the earth it would eat. And as it turns out, just because I want to eliminate, talking snake, weird, walking snake. Well, actually, every snake has. I didn't know this until a few years ago that every snake actually has in its biological system the module 4 feet, but just doesn't have it, and they're completely vestigial. And snakes, land snakes, don't use them in any way. They crawl on their bellies, but they're there, and it's almost as if God left them there as a zikaron, a memory for as a memory for the past. Very, very odd thing. I learned that from an atheist who asked me, not me, he asked a theist, why are there vestigial um, modules or systems in a snake, 4 legs, but they don't have legs? If God is perfect, why would he create snakes that way? And I went, wow, I didn't even know that. And unfortunately, the theist who was a Christian debating him didn't answer it well at all. I'm not going to say who, what, where, when, but I went, wow, you just missed a home run. And I looked it up and I discovered this. All right, so let's take this apart. The We tend to not read straight through the text, and we tend to read each story as a separate module, and it's really dangerous because they really are connected. And if you don't know how one event is not connected to the other, if you don't understand how the events are connected and you think they're not connected, that means you're missing massive information. So the question is, what is what is the motive for the serpent, who is a, I don't like using the word, but it's good. It's good. It'll work. He's a picture of Satan, the evil inclination, vanity. He's like the worst in all of us. But again, he's walking, talking, and highly intelligent. We're describing something very human-like. That's clearly what comes into the picture. Now, what's the motive? What's his deal? Well, we'd have to walk this back a little bit to Genesis chapter 2. What happens is that God brings before Adam, the first human being, every creature, and Adam is able to see them and into them and what they have, and recognize who their genuine character, name them accordingly, but also discover that none of them were compatible with him. And Adam had to discover. I mean, God could have just created a man and a woman if you think that's weird, well, that's what he did for everybody else. But not for Adam. Adam had to realize that he needed to be more than an animal, and he needed someone else to connect to. You know where the story then goes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put Adam Harishon, the first Adam, into a sleep and took a part of him, and from that he created Isha. He created a woman who from that couple would emerge all of humanity. So that's the story, that's the event right before all this. Now, of all the animals, which one, all the creatures in the world, which one would be very unhappy and would not wish a mazel tov, congratulations, to the new couple? The only one who would have a chance at this, and that is the one who can walk and talk and speak and is highly intelligent. Now, the question is so brilliant, is so lovely, is so charming, because it tells us about the nature of the evil inclination in Satan and what Satan uses in order to bring out the worst in us, and that is to want more. To want more. Why do we need more? People have so much money, they have blessed with so much, but they want more, and they'll destroy other people for their own vanity. Vanity is that's the go-to in Satan's toolbox. So that's the point. That means the serpent certainly could have just stayed in his own class. He could have stayed and just mated with another serpent, and they would just continued they could have been the progenitors of the serpents. The point is he wanted more, and that's what's going on. And he wanted more, and that is he wanted Chava, and therefore he wanted to do everything possible to destroy that wedding. And I'm not going to go and sit here and give you parables of real stories of people who are jealous and envious, and then they seek to harm others because of that jealousy and vanity. I don't need to. We've encountered this. This is the worst side of us. This is the part of us that really we can do without. It's, of course, our free will, but this is the go-to tool that Satan uses to bring out the worst in us. I assure you that the people who have hurt you the most in your life are not someone who just punched you in the nose, or it's not physical injury that you suffered from the most. It was rather embarrassment, hurt, betrayal, people who felt threatened by you, who really hurt you. And today you probably forgot about many of the physical injuries you endured when you were a kid, but the mental and emotional injuries that, because of this vanity, and the people just not thinking about what they're saying and just shouted you and just stuck a knife in your heart and turned it, That's the stuff that remains with us, and that's the tool of Sudden. So Sudden wanting to, or the serpent wanting to step up in species, meaning step up to Chav by destroying the relationship, that would be the the modus operandi. That would be the instinct. That would be the driving force between driving force for the serpent's behavior, and that's why they're connected. Thank you.
How did the snake have free will if God only gave humans free will and not the animals and not even the angels? Not, not. Um, that's what I'm
Right? No,
having
no,
trouble understanding.
no. Right. Serpent. So here's the deal. No animal has free will, but animals display certain characteristics, right? Dogs. Probably most of yours love dogs. Dogs are very loyal, man's best friend. But dogs are not really good in a sense that they didn't choose to be loyal. It's their nature. Um, it's called primary thinking versus secondary thinking. A dog is kind of a odd use because almost every species of dogs in the world was created and engineered by humans. But animals don't have free will. They're programmed. They're hardwired for that. And it's important for us to look at a dog and see the qualities that a dog has, in this case, loyalty, and go, well, that's something I can emulate. It doesn't mean that the dog has free will. We can see that cats display qualities of modesty. They don't go to the bathroom in public and mate in public. We see that ants, as an example, work really hard, carry loads, and just never stop working. It doesn't mean that an ant thought about, oh, I should be lazy or not lazy, but does Hashem instill in these creatures certain qualities that are just hardwired, and us looking at them go, wow, I can learn to be a better friend, or I can learn to be a little bit more modest in my ways, or I can learn to be more hardworking and committed to my job. That's all it is. But they don't have free will. They have no soul. They're not created in the image of God, but they behave in a certain, very determined way. Um, and, so dogs may be man's best friend, but dogs will steal from each other, rape each other, kill each other. They hide their bones because dogs don't understand the concept of possession and that you can't take someone else's food. And there's the answer. I just thank you for that question.